Everybody, and welcome back for another video. Today we're going to do a roundup of some key bits of news and information that I've looked at today and have a chat about that. And as usual, everything I discuss is my opinion, it's not financial advice, so let's get on with it. So we'll start with the usual place of coin market cap. Market sitting at $136 billion, 24-hour volume 16 billion. It's okay from Monday. Slightly wished it was slightly more volume. Bot dominance is up 0.1%. So very little. Bitcoin for a second day or day and a half or 24 hours really is above 4,000. Kind of need to get over that $4,100, $4,200. It seems to just get close to that. It was at $4,000.85 yesterday, and I think this morning. So it just needs to try and get past that next barrier. The other sort of coins are down slightly. It's again not massive amounts. What's up? Again, coins I've not really spent much time of. Holo, which we spoke about yesterday with the Weiss rating, is up 9%. I mean, 24-hour volume is $4 million, which is not bad. It's got a massive supply. Walton Chain is up. Tron is up. PundiX is up, and that might be because I did see something about a free airdrop or an airdrop for PundiX. I'm not familiar with this project, so I can't say much about the airdrop with that. What's making its losses today? Factum, that seems to just go up 8% and go down 8%. It's something I've held previously. It's something I bought ages ago. Only, this has been the little about cryptocurrency only on the basis that its supply is so small, 8.7 million. The volume is very low. $249,000. I'm sure Bitcoin probably does that in about a minute. And Ethereum Classic is down. Now, that might be on the basis of an article we'll go over. So the first article we'll look at is Ethereum Classic might have been hit by a 51% tax. Now, the article talks about the fact that they had to mining pools had to require as many as 400 confirmations for withdrawals and deposits. So interesting to see whether there was something else going on other than that, because the Ethereum Classic Foundation themselves tweeted out there have been rumors of a possible chain reorganization or double spend attack. From what we can tell, the Ethereum Classic network is operating normally. Black Scout's reorg section shows nothing of the sort. So whether something was trying to be done and it wasn't, or whether it's completely incorrect, market hasn't really affected its price too much. We know from I think November, December time that some big part of developers of the Ethereum Classic had to shut down the project because they don't have enough funding. Now, obviously, if there aren't developers or anybody developing on Ethereum Classic and the hash rate does drop because people aren't mining and people are not sustaining the blockchain, then obviously you're susceptible to hacks or attacks like a 51% attack. And that's basically, once you can take a 51% ownership of the hash rate, you can control transactions, and basically you can double spend and basically just take the currency out or take the coins and then just sell them into, convert them to fiat. It's a lot of coins last year suffered this attack. I think Verge might be one of the ones which did suffer this. There are a number of other cryptocurrencies which have suffered this. It comes down to the fact that if you have enough hash power and the equipment you're going to obtain to obtain the 51% isn't going to cost you that much, and your profits of doing this outweigh the cost of the mining hardware by a substantial amount, then you're susceptible to this. Now, obviously, with Bitcoin, you would need a massive, massive, massive amount of computing power, um, on supercomputer level, but many, many supercomputers to kind of try to do that with Bitcoin, which I don't think is possible. There's too much. There's too Bitcoin blockchain is too well supported and too strong. It's been around for 10 years. It's well protected, very secure. But the other ones which don't do as much transactions or don't have as much mining can be affected by this. So something to keep an eye on if you do hold Ethereum Classic. I urge you guys to look at this article. I'll link it in the description below. But not just generally this. The coins you do hold, you should all be keeping an eye on the news of those coins, because you don't know what's going on in the market, what's closing down, what's being hacked, what's being attacked. So yeah, kind of responsibility of your coins. So yeah, I'll move on to the next one. The next one is a big key of focus is an article or quotes or an article from Bloomberg about Japan gauges interest in Bitcoin ETF as pundits talk down approval rumors. So also we've been going back and forth with this Bitcoin ETF for years now, with the SEC failing to provide any sort of clarification of why the Bitcoin ETF keeps getting delayed, apart from custody and security, which doesn't seem to wash with people anymore. People are getting bored with it and just expect another rejection in February, which probably might get delayed. Although it does go on talk about auto approval if it is going to be delayed, on the basis that the US government is shut down, and it's been, I think, 13-14 days the shutdown has been going on, and no end in sight, with the Democrats and Republicans talking about a wall that they want to get paid for or built and needs to be paid by the US government. So I think this is where Japan can think, hold on, we've got an opportunity to take on a project which we can possibly get approved. We can beat US to it, and we can get money flowing through our country. So, Japan's regulators are considering allowing Bitcoin exchange traded funds, anonymous source told Bloomberg. Now, so Bloomberg's a very reputable company. I can't imagine they're just taking information from any old random person. So I'm hoping it's a good source that has told Bloomberg this information. But countries are getting on the bandwagon. A lot of other companies, exchanges, are not going to be waiting for the US to do an approval, and then the rest of the world follows on the basis of that. Countries like Japan, South Korea, Malta, Switzerland, I've mentioned these countries before, are crypto pro friendly countries. Even Dubai, which I'll go on to talk about, they're very pro cryptocurrency, and they can see the future with the blockchain, and understand that it's a new technology and they need to nurture it instead of block its capabilities, and they really want to see it grow, and hopefully it can benefit the country, it can benefit the people, it can benefit the world. But ultimately, Japan can get more currency, more money flowing through their country. If they have more companies based there, they allow an ETF. Surely they'll get something out of this by allowing it. The world's woken up. America is not going to be in the number one place that everything happens anymore. Things are moving very slowly with the CFTC approval for BACT, and also for the SEC approval for the Bitcoin ETF. So this is a perfect opportunity for countries like this to make their mark on the world and be the first country to allow an ETF. Obviously, we know that Switzerland allowed an ETP in the country. There obviously hasn't been as much news on that, but something like a country like Japan allowing this will surely pave the way for other countries like South Korea, like Malta, like Switzerland to allow an ETF in their country. So, very interesting article, and let's hope it's going to be more than just a anonymous source, and we get some proper clarification from Japan's regulators over the next couple of days or couple of weeks in terms of Are they looking at this? Is it something that which is going to be approved? If it isn't, what do they need to do to get it approved? And which companies are going to take this on? Which exchanges in Japan are going to take this on? So yeah, definitely be interesting to keep an eye on this. Again, I'll link this in the description below, but very good to see. Before I go into my next article, I just wanted to look at this article about Kraken and the US subpoenas and a huge barrier to entry for crypto exchanges. Now, Kraken, a US cryptocurrency exchange which is based in San Francisco, I believe, just spoke about their law enforcement requests from 2015 to 2018. So for anyone who's not looking at the screen, in 2015 the Kraken exchange had 33 requests from government officials or government organizations for information. 2016 71, so doubled up slightly, and then 2017 160, so doubled a little bit more, and then 2018 a whopping 475 requests for information from government officials. And it's obviously not just one country, it's stacked against other countries, but majority in 2018 was the US with 315 requests out of 475. So a massive amount, almost 65-70%. Looking at the pie chart roughly, UK was second with 61, so around 15%. And then you've got other countries like Switzerland, I can see Spain there, Italy, Germany, France, and CZ is that Czech Republic. So yeah, very interesting. I think the point of this is, again, why are cryptocurrency exchanges remaining in the US if they're getting this much constant information from the government? I mean, it's the fact that it's broken down into FBI and the SEC and the CFTC and IRS and the DEA. Surely they all can't be asking for different bits of information. It should just be a regular standard regular audit, and it should be provided once and once only. They can all look at it. People are waking up and realizing that, of course, we need to keep customers safe. Exchanges should be transparent with audit. But just like other companies, I'm sure other companies don't have to provide this much information. I'm sure Bank of America doesn't need to do this, or Goldman Sachs doesn't need to provide this much information. It seems to be that crypto exchanges are a hot topic, and people really want to keep their nose, especially government officials, keep their nose in the business. Is this all required? Probably not. Like I said, it's important to do these checks, but I'm not sure why so many different government agencies want the same information, especially from the same country. So again, this is probably look at people exchanges such as Binance and Kraken and Huobi and OKX and Hit BTC. I'm sure they're looking at this and thinking it's very difficult to crack America, and that's probably the reason why a lot of the cryptocurrencies on Coinbase are probably still not available for US customers. And I can't imagine XRP will be when they eventually place it on their exchange. So really, it's almost hindering the US. The US seem to just don't understand what cryptocurrency can do for its country in terms of money flowing to exchanges, bringing investment in, bringing companies in. I mean, San Francisco, Silicon Valley has always been known as a tech hub and a sort of a haven for tech companies, and cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency exchanges is just another tech company. At the heart of it is technology. And almost are they stifling progress in their own country for some other bizarre reason which we still don't understand yet. So yeah, very interesting article from Kraken, probably the only exchange who are going to post up on Twitter their turbulent time in 2018 from the US government majority. I mean, from 2015 to 33 to 475 3 years later is pretty ridiculous. So yeah, let's move on. So the last article I want to look at was can Dubai become the first blockchain-powered city by 2020? Um, Dubai is a country which needs investment. It stopped producing oil in around 2016. It solely relies on its existing wealth, its existing assets, and whether it still gets any sort of donations from Abu Dhabi, which is another UAE state. Obviously, people just look at Dubai and think, "Wow, rich, very very tall buildings, fancy cars, and great hotels." And yes, it is just that, but it's also trying to be more. It's trying to be a place for a haven for cryptocurrency, and obviously, we know companies such as XRP have set up an office in Dubai because obviously they are quite crypto friendly, and it goes on to talk about the Director General of Smart Dubai, Dr. Aisha bin Bati bin Bisha, believes that city is in prime position to establish itself as a blockchain and crypto epicenter that could become a fully integrated blockchain smart city in the next couple of years. So again, the theme of these stories have all just been around the fact that other countries are waking up. They're not going to wait for America to make the first move now, almost like a game of chess. I know countries such as India might be looking to see what America do and then decide themselves about whether they like crypto, they don't like crypto, they don't like Bitcoin, they do like Bitcoin. Countries like Dubai will just think, yep, we can offer, again, like the other sort of countries which are crypto friendly, we can offer companies to come into this country, create projects. We can also integrate blockchain into our life, whether they do it through buying houses, buying cars, passport control for internal flights. Dubai is, people don't realize how much technology they want to implement. Dubai was one of the first countries that wants to look at a way to remove passports completely from flights, and whether they're looking at something like vein mapping or fingerprint ID or a retina scan. Obviously, that's only going to be for internal flights for the moment, but they're not going to be able to continue with just the assets the royal family has in Dubai if they're not producing anything and there's no investment. And to get companies to come into and base themselves in Dubai, they need to offer something. And it's moving quick, and that's one thing that Dubai does. It's the hierarchical structure in Dubai seems to be quite flat, where they can get things or things approved quite quickly. So innovation. They want innovation, and one thing that Dubai is doing is they've got this big expo in 2020, and if you look at the Dubai map of the Expo 2020, they're building a whole new rail station which goes directly to the Expo. The Expo is going to be in the middle of the desert somewhere, or near the desert, where it's been, abandoned area where nothing's been built at the moment. And they want to show people and show the world what they've got. Not only have they got these tall buildings which are all complete by 2020, they want to show how money is going to be coming in through Dubai and what innovation they've got and how they're going to move in the next 10, 20, 30 years. And I guess this seems to tie up quite nicely with their expo for 2020. If you visited Dubai the last couple of years, or certainly the last year, like I did, wherever you go, you see Expo 2020, hashtag Expo 2020. Something they're promoting within the country. It's a big event. They really want to, show the world that small state in Dubai, which, obviously a lot of billionaires and millionaires in the country is doing. Dubai is still fairly new from its original conception of the idea of, I think it's bin Rashid. I think Mohammed Al bin Rashid. I think the leader of Dubai is about bringing Dubai into the 21st century with innovation. And you only need to go down to Dubai to see how clean everything is and how everything works, and blockchain will only add to that. So it's a great idea by the country itself, and how it can use it, how it can utilize it. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this affects the price of the cryptocurrency in the next couple of years, and where we go with the market, and whether countries like Dubai or states like Dubai might be the ones which decide to implement a currency as their own currency or a second currency like XRP or like Bitcoin. So yeah, very, very interesting and very positive news today so far. Hopefully the market continues up. Like I said, we need a continuous insurgence on the market. Although I did see an article which did show that every January, every year since I think 2013 has resulted in a 48 to or 30 to 48% price drop in Bitcoin. So whether Bitcoin has got more to drop or whether this is it, January's normally been a very bad month for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market. I think in 2014 it lost 48% of its value. So some interesting days and weeks coming up ahead for the crypto market. So as usual, let me know what you think. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And have a wonderful day wherever you are. And I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.